Main reason for divorce is in-laws.
Yes, it's a lot more common than you think.
He was cheating with his colleague. And you know what his mum said to me? You lah suka ungkit-ungkit, dia curang pasal dia nak cerai.
Mak-mak, kurang tolonglah. Mana pergi mak-mak yang dulu yang akan salahkan anak sendiri dulu?
If you also continued in this marriage knowing that he has already cheated on you, that is not something that you can bring up later or in the future.
Legal advice yang paling important.
This podcast is brought to you by
FND Legal. For all your legal matters, especially Sharia or family law matters, WhatsApp or call FND Legal at
9653-1612.
Experience, understanding
And
and
affordable. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Outside In with your host Yanto.
And Farah, your go-to source for honest conversations about relationships and marriage.
So if you are ready, let's go.
Alhamdulillah, it's a new year. How are you all doing? Everybody's
New Year, tapi demi topik pun tetap berat juga kan?
of course,
Okay.
yes. Like we said, like kita punya slogan kan, honest conversation kan.
Yes, about relationships,
So,
about marriage. So, I think hari ni punya topik, of course dengan FND Legal, kita ada jugalah submission korang. Kalau korang ingat lagi, the past few weeks, I think last
Correct.
year lah last year in early December, we actually put a poll, or rather we ask you guys insiders to submit stories ataupun curhat terhadap situasi
about toxic in-laws. Itu dia. So today kita punya intention is not to just pumpang-pumpang about toxic in-laws, but rather I feel like when it comes to in-laws ni, especially macam kalau dah termasuk divorce and things like that kan, it's cakap bila dorang ikut you pergi the legal officers and everything, their intentions are usually pure kan. Macam nak support my sister atau nak support my brother,
atau
but
support my anak.
yes,
Yeah.
and their want is to protect kan. Tapi what is the line?
Where do you
Where
draw the
is the
line,
line,
between
right? Yeah.
protecting and imposing?
Yes,
That's the word.
And also we've heard stories about macam they gaduh atau they divorce sebab in-laws macam gini, in-laws macam gitu. So I feel like today we don't deny that there are good in-laws out there.
Yes, of course.
But today we are just holding space for you guys yang don't have that kenangan manis lah
Kenangan
dengan
manis,
in-laws.
yeah.
Yeah. So without further ado, let's introduce our guests today from FND Legal,
Liza, also accompanied
Yes.
by Haryani of
Yes. Hari
Kita
ni
kepo-kepo
kita
je.
Resident Makcik Bawang hari ni.
Ya, oh man. Even at work. Kau tengok bos aku gini ya.
Kita sama-sama lah.
Ya, okay. She cannot wait to agree with you.
Okay, so hari ni kita ada banyak submission actually yang kita minta kita punya insiders to share about toxic in-laws kan. Kalau nampakkan banyak sangat, kita tak boleh share everything lah kan.
Yep.
So
Yep,
we
yep.
shared one that I feel it checks all the boxes lah about what we're going to discuss today.
Yeah.
Tapi sebelum tu
Hmm.
kita nak tanya lah, you as a lawyer kan, have you ever faced situations yang macam dekat office you, they meet you and the main cause maybe is because of interference with in-laws ke? Ada tak cases like that you
You'll be
face?
surprised
Is
that
it?
actually is a lot more common than you think. Yeah.
Main reason for divorce is in-laws.
Yes. And it's not just the usual macam like what you always assume is, oh, I don't want curang, this and that. But one of the many reasons is also that the in-laws were very overbearing.
Overbearing. Okay.
That means they will say like, oh, my husband punya parents are like this. Dia cakap, okay, semua nak kena prioritize my parents. Or atau like, you know, they will have their own separate family trip. Lepas tu tak bawa bini, that kind of thing, you know.
Oh,
Yeah, so this kind of things are actually very common.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, when it comes to in-laws pula, from what I understand, after 5 years of marriage, when you marry a person, whether it be your husband or your wife, you marry into their family kan. So but kalau dah macam gitu, it sounds as though that they are separating their spouse from their own family.
Isolating gitu lah.
Isolating, yeah. And then, I mean, in your opinion, is it even right for someone to do that? Before we go deep into the discussion, like in your opinion,
Personal opinion, I can say is more like sometimes it's like they want to be inclusive. They come with good intentions, so semua benda. But sometimes there is that line that people they might accidentally cross and they are not aware of it.
Okay.
And that's the problem. You need to find that balance between supporting your own family and then also the wife or your spouse, the husband that you have married
Yeah.
at the same time. There must be a balance. Takkan nak,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
Berat
Yeah.
sebelah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think for Kak Ani pula, Kak Ani
Ya, Kak Ni.
Kenny.
Kakak ya, kakak ya.
in your experience all these years, ada tak you kenalan-kenalan yang shared with you certain stories with regards to in-laws and how they feel that they want to be more included ataupun they are too much included in the family, in their own family nucleus.
Decisions and
Yeah, I've seen both side of the coins actually tau. Personally orang bilang ataupun dekat kita punya kerja kat law firm, bila orang share ada nampak yang betul-betul yang baik tapi terlalu overbearing atau yang betul-betul sengaja nak pecah-pecahkan dia punya relationship ada. Jangan. So bila Rasulullah punya hadis cakap ipar adalah maut, itu betul tau.
Alamak.
Ya, betul, kadang-kadang betul-betul maut. And some of dia punya evidence yang kita pernah nampak pun kadang-kadang like, why until like that? And ada yang pakai bomo dan segalanya. So I think personally I don't have an issue because my ipar girik we even travel together.
Alhamdulillah.
But the thing bila nampak certain ipar like my friends punya kenalan ataupun orang yang datang nak berbual dekat office,
Ada minta
ada
maaf sikit
macam ya Allah,
Sakit dada kan?
insaf gitu dengar. Ya.
Faham.
But I guess that's why you kena kenal sebelum kahwin kot. So
Ya,
after
betul.
kalau you see terlalu banyak red flag, janganlah kahwin, cik.
Yeah, I mean, when I see those kind of things, I just tell myself, thank God I'm not married.
Yet.
Yet. Keyword yet.
Ya, tadi Kak Ani cakap pasal pergi hantar bomo semua kan. Actually we had one submission tau.
Oh my, see,
it's,
what?
it's very short. Tapi
Literally
what
two liner.
Share.
what she said is, my ex-mother-in-law brought me to a bomo because I couldn't get pregnant. And then the bomo said ada nenek dalam my perut.
Nenek kau. Nenek kau kat perut aku.
Itu dia.
Yeah,
So I think what Liza said just now really mirrors our macam community lah. Whatever that you said kan, macam interference, ada yang ostracize or kata-kata yang tak manis, but on the other side also ada. So our submission hari ni kind of mirrors Liza punya experience.
Yep.
So that just goes to show that it's real lah. It's happening to people out there right now kan.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think
before you go into that submission, I just would like to add that Liza punya experience in this kind of grounds of divorce where it comes to toxic relationship ataupun in-law punya interference is bukan sahaja dalam hal-hal penceraian Melayu
Lah bangsa lain mana.
Yeah.
non-Malay
Interesting.
families.
Non-Malay families and she does a lot of non-Sharia divorce as well. Jadi you can imagine it's not about a race. It's not a race.
It's not cultural.
Yes,
it's
it's
not
not a
cultural.
race problem.
Okay.
It's not.
No, like, it's just parents, sometimes most of the time it's parents.
Yeah.
Like, I want to protect my kid.
Or so you
You
think
know,
lah.
yeah.
Or so you think, yeah.
Okay, so I think with that, we will get into one of the submission yang korang dah submit, and it's actually bila kita baca before we started this episode, bila kita baca agak pedih sikit, and then towards the end also, you guys will see lah. We will read parts of it and then we will get inputs from Kak Ani dan juga Liza lah for every situation that is mentioned in the submission.
InsyaAllah kita akan read the story bit by bit and then get your perspective. InsyaAllah. Okay. Adakah semua bersedia?
Yeah.
Bismillah.
Okay, bismillah. Okay, so the start of the submission saying that I found out that my husband was talking bad lah about me to his younger sister. That he wanted to pursue divorce, saying how I always physically abused him, which is untrue by the way. How I'm materialistic, he is drowning in trying to meet my expectations, and that my gaji is bigger than him. But I've never asked for extra nafkah. Whatever he paid, the bayar rumah, the bayar bill, and everything else that isn't enough, I will gladly top up. He was probably just insecure with his own income and projecting his insecurities when I have never made money an issue. Anyway, I found out these chats as somehow I had access to his telegram on my desktop. Bila I tengok tu, of course I marah, seeing what he wrote about me. But I makin marah when I saw the replies by his sister. I'm not even close to her, and she rarely comes by. We rarely spend time together, and I have never ill-treated her. But some of the things yang the reply my husband is, that's why she think she's better than you. The fact that she doesn't know that she has issues lah abang. Every time I come, I see your house macam tak kemas. Your wife ni dia tak tahu pakai vacuum ke? So, okay, we pause the story for a while kan. And kita nak tanya our lawyer lah, Liza. Right. So when a spouse is macam painting a very negative narrative to a family member, in this case the husband macam cakap benda-benda yang dia tak happy pasal isteri dia dekat dia punya sibling kan. Is this something that you see often?
Well, the thing is, for us kan, whenever we meet clients, we always tell ourselves that the stories are always one-sided.
One-sided.
Okay.
So it's the same regardless, because like even if you're not seeing a lawyer, you're talking to another person. Story selalu one-sided punya.
Betul-betul.
Yeah, so it's very common. But usually when these kind of things happen, you realize that this is just a build-up leading to the divorce.
Okay.
Yeah, then it could also be perhaps a weapon or a way that he's trying to gain support from his family. Cakap like, pasal, you know, if you have the same common enemy, right, you will have more
ammunition.
backing,
Yes, correct. So
Macam makin kuat lah konon.
yeah, so it's actually something very common lah. But of course, family members to family members, they will support themselves. They won't ask the lady like, actually, is this true
or not? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I've seen certain situations just like that also where, you know, dia akan complain to family members, your own siblings, your own parents and things like that. And then whether or not it's true, Allahu Alam, but you know, when we hear the stories coming from the other party, it's like, ni semua tak betul sih. Tapi dorang percaya, you know, they believe you, they believe that party 100% say, they didn't even come to like fact check with me. And that causes the rift between the husband and wife, you know, which can lead to divorce eventually.
Like
Because
the person yang kena fitnah tu macam seems like the bad guy lah. When nobody actually comes up to him or her to ask kan.
Yeah, there's no chance to even like macam like defend yourself or explain yourself like, actually did this even happen?
So macam kalau untuk Kahani pula kan. Kalau you, okay, for example, like I put you in a scenario lah. Scenario.
Itulah kelakarnya.
So you kenal the husband, you kenal the wife.
Oh, I know, this is a very senario yang selalu terjadi.
Yeah. Okay. So you kenal the husband, you kenal the wife, and then dorang macam confide in you. Either one lah.
Oh my
Confide in
God.
you, cakap kau tahu suami aku macam gini-gini. No, aku
Just
tak faham
as a
kenapa buat aku
public
macam gini.
service announcement, jangan buat aku macam gini. Yeah, they do that. Apa ni? But usually what I do is, me as a person dengan me as a paralegal in a law firm dah lain tau.
Okay.
So kalau kat law firm kan, we both will say things like, okay, these are your allegations tapi you ada tak screenshots ke, video ke.
Proof,
So kita kena ada proof. Kita tak boleh just, dia buat gini, dia buat gini. So gather all that. So itu important. Tapi as a individual, kalau you are just ranting and then telling me these stories because you need to let it out, I will just listen. But if it becomes like, I can dah pandai pick out tau mana yang bedek, mana yang tak bedek.
Apa pattern dia?
Ada pattern. In fact, I think lawyers also would know lah.
Interesting.
So I would tegur. I tak diam. I cakap, but you said, you know, dulu when you are together, let's say you're always posting about, he bought me LV, he bought me this, he bought me that.
The butterflies and the honey.
Yeah, and then now that you are not together, you're going through a divorce, you say, you tahu tak, even that one I yang beli, even this one I gini, I gitu. Then I will ask her, which one is correct? What you post or what you doing now? What you saying now? So if
expectation
you
versus reality.
Expectation. Social media versus reality. So I akan tegur, I cakap, jangan macam gini. And especially using of social media, we also have cases where they use social media to get back each other.
Oh my God, yeah.
Liza will always say, don't do that. Yeah, and that is legally not good because you can, after divorce, there's still a possibility of you getting PPO, punya applications against you.
In fact, or like harassment
Yeah,
ke,
harassment
defamation,
ke.
depending on what has been said lah.
Yeah, you can tahu masih. So but then in terms of personally, buruk kan. Imagine you buruk lah. Just
Macam kalau gaduh-gaduh dekat social media, macam for
tengok
everyone
yang kita
to
punya
see.
jiran punya celebrity couple loh.
I woke up furious.
Very ugly.
So, cerita ni doesn't end there. It's not only about the in-laws cakap ni cakap tu tau. Okay, so the story
It gets better.
Or
better
rather
or worse? Okay.
Okay, so anyway, after I saw the messages on Telegram, I confronted him. He said that yes, he wanted to end things off. Basically nak cerai lah. But to me, tak ada angin, tak ada ribut, tiba-tiba nak cerai. I asked if he had someone else. Dia kata tak ada. Guess what? Few days later, by the grace of Allah, he fell asleep and I think he forgot to delete his chats. And there it was. He was cheating with his colleague. Just few days ago, he looked me in the eyes and confidently said there was no third party. Of course, I went crazy. At first, he said okay, he wanted to work things out. Then few months fast forward, I was still very affected and was full of anger and acting out of character. Then again, he said he can't take it anymore. Since I don't want to buka buku baru, he will pursue divorce. Dia datang dengan mak dia. And you know what his mum said to me? That I selalu ungkit pasal dia curang tu. Sebab tu dia tak tahan nak cerai. Instead of giving advice to your son about how to treat a wife right, you decide to be an enabler. His mum had always not liked me for I don't know what reason, and even didn't want to let us get married previously. So I guess she was delighted if the son actually wanted to end off the marriage. Can we stop there first?
Okay, so pendek kata, she found out lah that the husband was cheating and he lied about it. Dia cakap macam, you ada orang lain ke? Cakap tak adalah.
Because he doesn't want to be the bad guy.
Yes. And
It's
then
normal.
Allah nak tegakkan the truth kan. Then just a few days later, dia dapat tahu yang okay, the husband is cheating with his colleague.
Yeah.
And then family semua dah masuk. Right, the family, the mum cakap apa tadi?
Memang cakap, you lah suka ungkit-ungkit, dia curang pasal dia nak cerai. So kirakan the victim, the problem now lies with the wife being unhappy that he curang.
So she enable lah.
Yeah.
Mak, kurang tolonglah. Mana pergi mak-mak yang dulu yang akan salahkan anak sendiri dulu.
Atau jotos
Ya,
Betul,
aku kalau kena kadang-kadang tak salah pun kena. But my point is, don't enable your child like that. Salahkan anak sendiri dulu, baru tengok outside. Ni tidak, ni anak kau je betul.
Right. So, Liza, when parents or in-laws ni enable this kind of bad behavior, especially infidelity, right, in this case, how does that affect divorce punya proceedings?
If you ask me, the very first thing I would say is since she has already seen this whole thing kan, lekas-lekas ambil gambar.
Screenshot evidence.
Because you want to start case building ready.
Okay.
To confirm that betul-betul lah dia curang rather than you just go to a law firm and say, hey, he has a third party, I want a divorce. Lepas tu bila minta evidence, terlupa nak ambil Yeah,
okay.
so we need all this evidence.
Okay.
And obviously the mother being a bit problematic, I would say, or supportive of his the son's behavior is also a reason to confirm that, you know, actually as a husband, you're also supposed to protect your wife's punya, what do you call it? Marwah, is it?
Marwah and aib lah. Yeah.
Dignity lah kan.
Yes, correct. So if your mother is doing that and you're doing nothing, it's just nampak sah you are trying to get more support from your own family and then just leaving her to die.
Right.
In that sense. And obviously when the divorce happens, I can tell you, I can already predict how this is going to go. Bila pergi mahkamah kan, keluar mahkamah, the family members semua tengah tunggu confirm.
Tunggu the husband.
Tunggu the husband. Keluar tanya, apa dah jadi? Lepas tu, they will give all the dirty look lah.
Okay.
I have seen it so many times.
Right. I mean, when it comes to, okay, we see the flow of the story kan.
Story lah bang.
Story
The flow of the story. So at first, the husband started to blame the wife's, or dia started to
Kekurangan dia lah.
Kekurangan dia banyak.
Yeah.
Konflik family dia.
Tak vacuum. Tak tahu nak vacuum sendiri. Kenapa? Tak tahu nak vacuum sendiri.
Tak nampak kotor, lepas tu
Dah,
apa?
yang kakak engkau ke adik engkau tu datang vacuum. Dah lah gaji tak banyak.
Dah personal lah.
Ya, personal.
Keluar sikit.
Ni makcik bawang punya karakter terkeluar. Dia lah, dia cakap kita.
Tak apa, menghangatkan lagi situasi.
Ya.
Yeah, but like if I'm the wife right now and then I go to you for legal advice kan, because I feel that right now firstly he has painted a bad picture about me, and then I have evidence, screenshot blah blah blah, blah. And then right now I caught him cheating on me, evidence blah blah blah. What is exactly dia punya stand, or rather what is the probability of this wife punya, I wouldn't say success rate in getting a divorce, but rather how can she, you know, how do you call it, win the battle?
We need to be very careful about this because a lot of people assume that all of these things that he did to me during the marriage kan is the reason why I will get higher muta'ah, higher nafkah idah, and all of this. But unfortunately, that's not how it really works.
Misconception.
Yes, misconception.
Okay.
Yeah, so we need to be very clear about that. Yes, these are all sufferings that you have gone through, blah blah blah.
Okay.
I'm not downplaying it. It is we acknowledge it. These are things that we can include inside. But that doesn't mean it's 100% the reason why you will get a bigger share of the house. Or a bigger share of the harta and everything. Yeah, so that's the first part we need to make it very clear. Because semua orang cakap, tapi dia problem.
Yang salah.
Pasal dia, kita sekarang, you know, we are at this divorce stage, you know. Yeah, so that's the part. But of course, we need to provide as much evidence as possible to confirm that all of this did happen lah. In case, you know, bila dah file divorce, suddenly the guy say, but I don't want to pronounce talak.
Right.
Yeah, it has happened lah. Yeah.
Dah cakap tak nak pronounce kau.
Right. So
Because-
dia dah burukkan nama isteri dia, tapi dia tetap
Saja tak
jatuhkan
nak.
Yeah. That we have seen it. It's very common.
Okay.
Yeah, so have to be very careful also lah. So all these things must include inside.
I see.
Yeah. So I mean, kalau a lot of people, some have actually asked before lah, buka aib ke ni?
Memang, tapi ini adalah court process. Jadi kalau nak tutup aib sangat, macam mana?
Yeah.
Then,
They need
pasal tu
We
dia-
need evidence. Dan
Yeah.
kita perlu, like Liza said, it doesn't 100% means it will give you more money, you know, or macam kena boleh win more. Tapi dia ada berat dia tau. It weighs on whether, you know, how much or how much of what you ask for you may get, because walaupun tak banyak, dia ada a bit of weight.
Okay, faham.
So a bit of weight. Apa a bit of weight? A bit of weight. Jadi dia kena letak lah benda-benda ni kat dalam Madina, aku cakap macam gini, habis dia ni agree and all that.
Right.
But it's not like 100%. Kalau sebab tu people think that it's 100%. Sebab tu some people main top up
Evidence,
the fitnah and
evidence.
exaggerate.
Oh.
Yeah, correct.
Cannot lah, cannot exaggerate.
cannot like that. I mean, and you are not supposed to lie in court, and yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think touching on talak just now you mentioned kan, because we understand that talak tu memang atas dasar only the husband
correct,
can
correct.
jatuhkan talak, the wife cannot, right?
Yep.
But in such situations kan, if let's say, you know, the lady is dianiaya,
Yeah.
being in such a bad situation, maybe the worst case is you know, physical abuse and whatnot. Husband
wants
tetap
help
husband tetap tak nak jatuhkan talak. Can the woman still file for divorce to protect herself?
Still can.
Still can.
So there are still other reasons for divorce that you can go under, and that will still like, for example, there's fasad as well. Kalau dia tak provide maintenance, or he has been physically abusive, so all of these things actually plays a part. That's why the details of the divorce is very very important. We need to be very careful. Alternatively, even if he doesn't want to pronounce talak, right, masih boleh pergi hakam. So hakam is where the ustad, there will be two ustad listening to both sides of the story, and then the ustad will actually have the right to decide whether will the pronouncement of talak be done by the ustad themselves, or by the court lah rather, by the court, atau they have the right to actually let the lady pronounce talak on herself.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Dia macam like, is the mediator in a sense, is it?
Arbitrator, I think the
The
term
word
is
is
arbitrator.
arbitrator.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of times orang datang dekat the office oh tapi dia tak nak pronounce talak, atau dia call Liza, I'm stuck dah 3 tahun dah apa. And Liza will say, no, you masih boleh dapat cerai. Isteri-isteri sana, doesn't mean dia tak pronouncekan talak, you takkan dapat cerai. Kita ada prosedur. So datang jumpa dengan lawyer and explain, let her explain properly. You tak stuck.
Right.
You takkan stuck. Maybe ada a few steps yang akan kena buat untuk dapatkan cerai tu, tapi you tak stuck, jangan takut.
Yeah.
Just now we go back to the cerita yang dia punya in-laws dah interfere. Kan? Dia macam dah boleh nampak lah, it's very clear that they are all macam satu gang and she's like alone, isolated, right? So kalau diorang proceed with divorce and things like that, have you ever encountered any cases yang because of one party ni dia punya support kira kan, right? The interference is so overwhelming that it causes macam delay or macam the process of the divorce tu to become overbearing or complicated.
Actually no tau. Pasal you must always remember when it comes to divorce proceedings, it's between husband and wife. So all of them nak masuk campur, right? It's just like, they are just adding oil je lah. Goreng, betul-betul goreng, right? But that's it.
Right.
It doesn't have any impact lah on the divorce proceeding itself.
It doesn't.
They don't have any say.
Like legally speaking, they don't have much say lah, unless you want to add in evidence ke apa-apa. That one you still need permission from the court. Yeah.
Okay.
But apart from that, I mean I would say the part that's going to be very taxing for that person, right, is the emotional part lah.
Right.
Because the process is going to take a bit of time. So while waiting, there could be a bit of macam maybe private tengah hang dia pasal kau ni problematic lah, pasal kau dia nak kena nanti in the future dia tak boleh beli rumah, nak kena bayar kau punya nafkah, nak kena bayar kau punya mutah, pasal kau lah, that kind of thing. Lepas tu they will add in more things lah.
I see.
Yeah.
I have one example. Kita tukar sikit dia punya storyline sikit. Tapi ada satu example di mana the in-law punya interference is a positive interference. Okay, there was this one matter where spouse A needs to get sole custody and sole care and control of dia punya anak-anak. Sebab dia punya ex-spouse tu planning nak keluar daripada Islam. Dan nak pergi tinggal di satu negara yang dia punya agama baru dia ni kira terror lah.
Okay, faham.
Tapi dia quiet. Okay. Then dia ni punya family members was nice enough to go to the spouse A to say we are willing to put in affidavits to say of whatever he has been planning to save cucu dia ni. Together dengan spouse A punya friends and some friends and family who also know of his plan through his social media and his YouTube account that goes against Islam. Dia ada yang secretnya. It was very interesting.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Very interesting, right?
Maybe
Okay,
off-cast
ni dah
kita
lama punya
discuss,
cerita, but I change a bit. I change a bit. So this interference, at last, the lawyer in charge tu was doing all these affidavits kan, and then dia dapat dia punya anak-anak dia tinggal kat sini, dapat sole custody dan segalanya. So si spouse B ni yang konon-konon nak keluarkan anak dia daripada Islam dan nak pergi tinggal kat tempat ni, tak dapatlah anak tu.
So
Ni interference yang positif.
Right.
Ya, dan bagus pula yang spouse B punya mak bapak datang ketuk pintu cakap,
Hello, I have affidavits.
aku ada willing pasal I don't want my cucu to be murtad.
Right. Tapi yang spouse B punya parents ni bukan Islam.
Bukan. Interesting or not?
Yeah. I mean, considering the fact that kalau spouse B punya
but
parents,
they felt that this is wrong.
Okay. Ada juga interference yang
No, there are. I
There
do
are
not
nice,
deny. We have seen positive ones. To the extent that they are saying, actually, I know lah, my kid ada sikit problematic. And then they will say things like, oh, if you need anything, let me know.
right. I mean, when it comes to divorce, there are a lot of, like you mentioned at the end, a lot of different reasons, a lot of different levels of, maybe betrayal ke, abuse ke, things like that, and then you can file for divorce on that basis. I think when it comes to, not just, in this particular story is the lady, right, going through this kind of situations, but as a man, are there also similar situations where a man comes up to you and say like, I want a divorce, but I don't know how to do it? Because from my understanding, when it comes to divorce, usually the man is on the losing side. I mean,
We should do an episode just for that.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
One more episode
Yeah,
coming.
just for that to say that men,
Uh-uh.
you are not on the losing side when it comes to
Right.
divorce. If
Interesting.
you have the right
Yeah.
procedure,
It's not a guaranteed
it's not a
losing thing.
guaranteed. Yeah.
Yeah, because
okay.
I have one friend. He's not married yet, and I asked him before, hey, you don't want to plan to get married, until then he said no, never until the marriage or divorce favors the man's side, then only I'll get married.
Ini
His
semua kedai
mindset.
kopi punya berbual.
Dia apik lah.
Tok tu Liza.
Yeah, there is a way lah kan.
Because there was one DM many months ago.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so this guy basically based on his recollection, he was abused by his wife and things like that. And a lot of things happen lah. And then he feels like he as a man you are disadvantaged in this current society, whether be it by law, whether be it by the societal punya views and whatnot. So I think we should touch an episode on that lah.
Yeah,
When
we
it comes
should,
to
we
men.
should. Because it is definitely wrong. You should you should listen to some of her success stories.
Yes.
Okay, stand by. One more episode coming up,
Yeah,
insyaAllah.
For the man.
For the men pula,
Baiklah. Okay, so
today
we
women,
continue the last part.
Okay. Ada
The
lagi?
last part, yes. This
final
one
part.
So mula-mula sister, then the mother.
Then the
Okay,
mother.
okay.
Okay.
Ni
Now,
siapa nenek?
Macam nenek kau.
let's see if the nenek makes an appearance. Okay. When I look back, I think he wanted to make a clean exit. That's why he started to plan all these stories to people around, and he wasn't expecting me to catch him cheating. So if the divorce
Apa ni?
Tersasul lah kali.
Dia geram actually.
Tengah geram ni, tengah geram ni. Yes, so he wasn't expecting me to catch him cheating. So if the divorce fell through, I would look like the bad guy. I'm the abusive one, and that's too much for him. But since I caught on with the cheating, he had to stay in the marriage so his image isn't affected.
Why would you want to stay?
Yeah, exactly.
And then
So-
the punchline is
I am still with him today.
What?
Jokes on me, dia cakap.
Yeah, jokes on you asal. Sis. Jumpa, berbual.
Yeah, so that being said kan, I feel like recently there has been a lot of submissions from people who are going through rough times in their marriage. Macam ada yang on the brink of divorce, ada yang macam cannot decide. Right, so many listeners I feel could relate to this part lah. Dah so many happen and things like that. Dah ada evidence pun, tapi ada betrayal, tapi they still stay.
I mean,
It is
being someone
common
who
though.
has been in that position,
Yeah.
it's not easy lah.
Yeah.
The decision to divorce not easy because you have good times,
Yeah.
you have a house. Divorce is a long process for some people. So you are thinking maybe stay kalau maybe ada something, some kind of magic happens. I understand, but that's
No lah. If you stay, you gotta work on it lah.
both tau. Bukan
Yeah, both. Yeah,
seorang
exactly.
aja. Yeah.
Yeah. I think in your opinion, pasal she mentioned that he is only staying in the marriage because he got caught. So if let's say, okay, if I were to put myself in the shoes of this lady, kan,
Okay.
if you are trying to cover your face, I'm not gonna make sure
Your face is
personally,
covered.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna help you
I'm
lah.
gonna help you because you want nak cover your image. Okay,
Yeah.
but you aniaya, you cakap buruk pasal I. You tell your mother that I'm the salah one because you are cheating. Tapi pasal I ungkit you punya cheating, I yang disalahkan.
Yeah.
I would say bye-bye, man. Personally lah.
Yeah.
You know.
But you have to be very careful also, you know, because the thing is, if you also continued in this marriage, knowing that he has already cheated on you, that is not something that you can bring up later or in the future. Yeah, you have to be
Legal
very
advice
careful.
yang paling important.
Really?
Yeah, because it's as good as telling everyone that you have accepted that this mistake was made and you are trying to move on from it.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's something you need to be very careful. Takkan lah nanti maybe 10 years down the road you decide that you want to divorce. Actually
then
I want to
use
say
that
10 years
evidence.
ago he cheated on me.
I see.
Tak
Padahal
fair
you
lah.
already move on and then you have already accepted this like thing that has happened.
Right.
You know, you cannot start bringing back old problems lah.
Okay. So if that's the case kan, I mean I'm trying to see apa nama dia? hypothetically, if let's say I catch my spouse cheating on me, and then I say, okay, I'm gonna accept that you cheated on me. Let's mend on this marriage. Let's work on this relationship. I forgive you, you forgive me, and then we go on 2-3 years trying to mend that broken relationship. Tapi tetap tak menjadi. Can we still file for divorce?
You can. You still can.
Yes.
Yeah, just that you have to be very careful lah. Because if after that 2 to 3 years you try and things are still not working out, but things are not working out because maybe dah bukan pasal dia curang tau. It's because like
Something else already.
character differences lah, this and that. There's no way that you can bridge it. Then no choice lah. That one when you want to file for a divorce, it should be based on the latest development. You tak boleh cakap, oh but then I would like to inform you that 2 to 3 years ago he did this.
It's not a valid.
Some of our clients masih nak cakap. Yes, I mean Liza will cakap the legal implication, but if you want to still say,
Right. I think generally kalau kita catch our spouse cheating and you want to work on the relationship, definitely the first thing you need to do is go for relationship counselling lah kan.
Counselling.
Right, because definitely when it comes to when you go to a lawyer already, that means there are reasons why you want to try. But if you want to talk about you want to mend a relationship, then you have to go to a relationship expert to fix that whole situation lah. If let's say you really cannot move on from that. Yeah, I mean, talking about the story pula, if let's say all these evidences that you catch and whatnot, and then few years later, it's not these messages are not validated in court, is it?
No, not validated, but it's more towards the court will just see it as okay, this has happened, but you have already accepted it.
Okay.
Yeah, you have when you decide to work on your marriage, right? You must have already accepted it first lah. That the problem is like it has already happened, and you want to mend the relationship from there.
Right.
Yeah, but ultimately, if you try to work it out and he still tries has affairs later on, right? Then of course lah, itu ada link lah. But but if let's say memang he became well behaved, no other issues, etc. Then the reason should be the latest reason why it didn't work out.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, of course.
What could the reasons be? Macam incompatibility? Is that valid?
Incompatibility and stuff.
Change of heart.
even that,
Yeah. Because the thing is, in Islam, marriage is actually a contract between two parties. You need both parties to be agreeable to a contract for it to work. Kalau one person want to, break the contract, etc., you still have that right. That right is still given to you.
Okay.
Question is which reason for divorce would that be?
Okay.
Ada tak in the Sharia court one of the reasons is family member interference?
No, it's okay. So reasons ada macam-macam tau. So there's like one is talak itself. The other one is cerai taklik, which is breach of conditions.
The taklik.
The one that we say after
yes, correct.
Terms and conditions apply.
yes. Betul.
Yeah. Then there's fasak. Fasak is annulment lah basically.
Annulment
So
of
it has to be like the person is not present. I can't really remember off the top of my head
4
now.
months.
Is it 3 months atau 4 months?
But adalah macam yang tak ada
stipulated
terus.
amount of time.
Then the other one is huluk. Yes,
Huluk ni
Huluk is a bit unique. Because
it's quite rare.
Yeah, it's quite rare. Basically, the lady is paying herself out of the marriage.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's possible.
Tebus.
Yeah,
Tebus talak they call it, is it?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, I've never also.
Yeah, that's why. Actually, a lot of times I will always nasihatkan, kalau you are not sure, and one of the reason why you not sure about getting a divorce is because you tak tahu proses, you tak tahu you punya hak, you tak tahu you punya tanggungjawab. Pergi jumpa lawyer, cakap pasal you punya situasi, jadi dia boleh bilang, okay, hak you dalam perkahwinan ni macam gini, hak you dalam penceraian ni macam gini. Ada ramai kakak-kakak yang datang kan, oh saya rasa macam saya tak ada hak pasal saya housewife sahaja.
It's normal for that kind of things to happen kan.
Yeah, it's a bit sad lah.
It's a bit sad. But when they go to the office and talk to Liza, and then they realise, oh my God, I have all these rights. I tak tahu I ada segala hak-hak ni. You zaman mana kesian tau diorang macam habis tu yang kat belakang-belakang cucuk kan, kalau kau tinggalkan anak aku all this toxicity kau tak ada benda kau tinggal bawah blok.
Right.
Belum.
Yeah, so you please know your rights dengan orang yang betul, bukan
Bukan Google, bukan tanya kawan,
Bukan chat GPT.
bukan ChatGPT.
Ataupun makcik bawang ke bawah blok.
Masih bawah ni lain sikit. Dia pandai.
Masya Allah.
Dia pandai.
Yeah,
I mean, talk to a professional.
correct.
Yang hari-hari buat divorce.
Betul.
Yeah.
You can always, just contact je FND Legal, first consultation free.
First consultation free 9653-1612.
Itu dia.
Just contact aja, just to settle an appointment to find out more. Bukannya jumpa terus nak kena.
Tak payah
nak
jumpa,
try.
kalau nak berbual kat telefon pun boleh.
Okay.
Okay, faham.
Right.
So now we are macam tadi dah share story kan. So now we go to the legal steps. Kalau betul-betul this kind of situation happens and then diorang okay, I want to
Proses dia
go for divorce.
Okay, so very first step, jangan cakap I want to file my papers today.
tak ada.
Yeah, a lot of people they expect that okay, I'm gonna come in, I bring a lot of money, I want to file my divorce immediately. Then I just tell them sorry you pay me how much money, I also cannot start immediately.
Okay.
Because number one, you need to go for marriage counselling program.
Okay.
Itu compulsory.
Okay.
Yeah, with the marriage counselling program, once you have done it, baru you can proceed to file for a divorce.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's where we start preparing all your papers lah. Reason for divorce, what happened, what are your claims. Ida muta'ah, kalau ada rumah, children issues, etc.
Right.
Yeah, but please do not treat us as magicians because some people they always assume that I dah bayar lawyer, confirm dia dapat rumah.
Right.
Yeah, so
that is up to the court to
yes, there's
decide.
quite a lot of factors that we need to take a look at. Dah MOP ke belum? Are you eligible to take over the house ke tak?
Okay.
And then also the outstanding loan, boleh refinance ke tak? Yeah, a lot of things that we need to go through with you. In fact, sometimes this might be a team effort because I will need the client to actually go and speak to a couple of estate agents for them to do the calculations.
Pergi HDB kadang-kadang.
Yeah, HDB also minta appeal, tengok boleh clear ke tak. Yeah. So that once that is done, then you will go for kita dah file papers lah. Then you go for mediation.
Mediation.
To see whether parties can actually negotiate lah. To
Agree lah.
find a
on
middle
terms,
ground lah. Yeah.
Okay.
Dia kena agree semua terms tau. Konon-konon kita cakap pasal nafkah idah, nafkah muta'ah, anak, rumah. 4 benda dengan talak 5 benda. Ni 5 ni kena agree.
Kalau satu tak agree, tak jadi.
Kena go all out. Orang kata.
Diorang call it apa kalau semua agree is something divorce apa?
Uncontested divorce.
Uncontested. Uncontested.
So dia punya order of court pun dia letak by consent. Means parties consent.
Tapi kalau dah consent, lepas tu bila dah ada court order, tapi bila dah jatuhkan semua and then tak sesuai I don't want to keep up with my agreement on the court order.
Pun ada juga.
I think we mentioned before kan you can get them to
Vary
summon
the order.
Enforce lah.
Summons.
Depending on what parts they don't follow.
Tu pun kena ada evidence juga lah.
Yeah, exactly.
Siapa yang dengar tu
Okay, kalau this couple ada anak, then the care and control,
that those things lagi mesti nak kena discuss lah.
I see.
Yeah, both semua nak kena agreed upon tau. Yeah, even
Kalau
if
nak
you
agree dekat mediation lah. Kalau tak agree tu kita boleh bawa terus pergi court. Tapi parties kena faham. Daripada file paper tu nak pergi mediation, the date tu bukan ikut date kita punya kalender.
bukan macam next week I free boleh tak?
Dia ada record punya kalender. Dia 3-4 bulan. Lepas tu mediation katalah tak jadi I don't want I cannot agree. So kena
Book in a date.
pre-trial conference.
Pre-trial conference lagi 3-4 bulan tunggu. Dengar apa judge tu cakap. Okay. So, konon lah dekat the first pre-trial conference tu judge tu cakap kena file documents lagi lagi 3-4
So long process.
Dia bukan ikut kita yang kalender kan.
Alright, so like I have seen divorce cases yang ambil 1 year plus. Ada yang ambil 3-4 tahun. All this because of the coordination and between the spouses lah.
So it really depends because there are some spouses that are not cooperative. Their plan is to just delay syok because they just want to get back to each other.
Okay. Macam I want to win her back lah.
Some will say I want to win her back, but some will say like, dia nak cerai, aku tak nak kasih senang-senang lah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, if I were to put that with this lady's submission example Now, if the lady were to actually file for divorce, and then the husband pula cakap, no, I don't want to divorce, gini. So, what would you foresee this kind of situation happening if this lady comes to you and asks for a cerai?
I will still ask her to. I mean, it depends lah. I will just say, if you want, we are not going to force her anyway. You know, when you speak to us, no obligations, tak kena file ke tak.
Bukan kita cakap, cuai.
Yeah. I don't. In fact, some of them
Tak boleh.
sometimes I will just tell them, you go back home, think about it first. Pergi tidur, sleep it off, think about it.
Right.
Yeah, and then after that you come back again if you want to proceed. Yeah, so I will just tell the lady, kalau you want to, you can just file first. Lepas tu, we see how it goes. Because if there are efforts made, in between there's like 3 to 4 months wait apa, things can change. Yeah, we have had cases where ultimately they decide to get back together. So it's common. Bukan cakap like, nak dah cerai je means I must go all out. No.
Right. Lain kalau it's a dire situation lah.
Yeah.
Right. Kalau macam gini, if let's say she can still accept and terima, then next step is marriage counselling lah. Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like it lah. As a personally, as me myself, the fact that you are already looking into your husband's WhatsApp, Telegram,
Suspicions.
yeah, I think you know that this is not the marriage you want to be in, right, Kak or adik? And then you say, oh, the joke is on me. You know that it is not a good,
Marriage lah. Not healthy.
it's not a
happy.
healthy relationship that you're in. Think about it lah. You know, is this where you want to be?
Right. I mean, of course, kita tak galakkan in terms of cerai. But if, let's say, you know,
Saya akan galakkan kalau
dia dianiayai.
yes, and kalau dalam hati tu dah tak ada peace of mind. In Islam, you get married for peace, right?
Yeah.
Then kalau tak ada peace, tak payahlah Kak.
Technically, you are living in a tortured state.
Yeah.
Mentally.
And then the fact that your in-law says all these things about you.
It will be at the back of your mind lah.
Yeah,
Nanti Raya you salam, you'll be like,
Pergi pun agaknya tau.
And I feel like also just now talking about care and control of the children and everything, right? Maybe okay, for example, we put in this situation, dia ada anak and then dia dah get divorced, and then dia punya spouse punya family, grandparents, things like that, like toxic environment, right?
Yeah.
Trying to cocok. Does this macam toxicity of the family members ni affect the care and control punya?
What you know? Yeah. So I mean, I assume you are talking from a contested basis lah. That means there's no agreement between parties. So when this kind of situations happen, for me, I would prefer to get the professionals in. So I will tend to request for custody evaluation report. So it sounds complicated kan, but actually we are just getting professionals in. They are mostly from MSF punya side.
MSF,
So they are professionally trained to see and observe the child's behavior, to see whether like has there been anyone tengah cucuk cakap, actually your mother, you know, she's you know, she's this, or your father, he's this. So they will start to do some you know, observation just to see the interaction, etc. And a report will be given to the judge to see. Nobody will be able to see the contents of the report except for the counsellors themselves and the judge.
Kita tak tahu.
Yeah. So that will actually result in some behavioural punya orders that might be made. Not behavioural lah. It's more like co-parenting orders.
Okay.
And then also the judge will also nasihatkan lah, like, you know, both parties are expected to co-parent this and that to find that balance between parties. So that's the part that you need to take note of. So rather than you be worried that there's nothing I can do, you know, dia tengah cucuk behind,
Stress.
Have a lawyer explain. Kalau you boleh engage lawyer, at least dia boleh ask for that kind of order. You mesti faham kalau kat Singapore ni mahkamah akan fikirkan welfare dan kebaikan anak itu, bukan apa engkau feeling, not the parents but the welfare of the children. Actually got one time I tengok Facebook group ni ada satu anonymous discussion which I was very into. And then pasal dia gini, dia cakap dia tengah dah habis divorce. Every weekend anak dia pergi dekat rumah the other side. Okay, and the other side suka macam tengok
Cucuk.
tengok bapa engkau weekend aja hantar sini pasal he has to do this, he has to do that. And then the mom's new spouse pun cocok. you shouldn't love your father so much. You hate her. He's a horrible man. Blah blah blah. He not enough do this. Okay, but in that discussion, the first part of the discussion is dia tunjukkan budak tu punya journal.
Oh, journal.
So budak tak bilang bapak dia.
He
So
himself writes on his
he
journal.
saw the journal because the teacher showed the journal of this budak ni. Dia nak bunuh diri.
Allah Akbar.
He wants to is it he or she, can't remember. Tapi budak tu nak bunuh diri pasal dia dah terlalu I love my father but they say this about my father and when I try to defend my father, dia kata kau pun sama macam bapak kau.
Allah, tu toksik tu.
Yes. So I put on the notes.
You commented
commented, I said pergi berbual dengan lawyer. Okay. I cannot tell you what happened, which lawyer they go to and all that. But that 3 days weekend dah
Taken back already.
taken back.
So full custody.
But it was not an easy. It's not even on thread on IG. It was on Facebook. So imagine how long ago this was.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So but recently then baru budak tu was saved and then the weekend tak boleh overnight lagi lah.
Right.
Pasal welfare of the child is being because of
Compromised.
toxicity of the other side lah. Yeah.
Toxicity.
So you must fikirkan welfare anak you.
Yeah, the welfare of the anak.
And the judge and the Sharia court and the counselor all will have to think of the welfare of the anak. Yeah, if there is bad that they have shared custody or if it's bad that one person has got care and control, of course. Yeah.
If I have one question. If the care concern is like that, the arrangement weekdays with the mother and then weekends with the father, for example, and then somehow or rather, the child feels that I don't want to meet my father anymore because of certain reasons, blah 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 blah. Can they then use these words from this boy to pergi mahkamah lagi?
Ni dia punya specialty. So dia
Pergi ke mahkamah and tell that my son isn't feeling happy because he's being instigated like Kak Ani mentioned, instigated ataupun he himself doesn't feel comfortable with the father and whatnot. Can they then use this to go to court and say that not say remove but reduce dia punya interaction with the
vary the order, change lah the order.
Yeah.
So this one actually is not ideal. The court actually doesn't like this kind of thing because most of the time when you apply to court, it's been a bit exaggerated.
Okay.
So you cannot just say that, but the court will take matters into their own hands in that sense. Kalau if there's a need to do custody evaluation report, they will do that as well.
Okay.
And if betul-betul like it's so bad that the kid has tendencies macam like what Hani said, nak bunuh diri, that kind of stuff, they may consider doing things like macam supervised access. So that means ada orang kena teman lah.
The orang teman is from
It's
the
to be determined. You can propose also. Most of it could be from the biological mother atau the other side. There is a reliable person there that can teman.
to supervise the
Yes, correct.
interaction.
But it will not be a situation where it's permanent all the way sampai dia turn 21 tau. It will be incremental approach. That's the court's approach right now because they believe that even though there's a divorce, time spent with the other parent is also still important.
Right.
Yeah, so they will slowly increase just to monitor and see like, hey, is it getting better? Is it better now? And then they will increase maybe from supervised jadi tak payah teman. Unsupervised. So go as per normal and then it can be for 4-hour block, 6-hour block. Then at some point they may increase to overnight access. So a lot of things they will take into consideration what kind of situation you're in first. Because there has been situations where the parents have never been around at all. Tak pernah nampak sih. Like a few years. Lagi tengok who's this guy.
I am the father.
Yeah.
Your father.
Yeah. So incremental approach lah. That's what I would say. You cannot just unilaterally say he doesn't want to see the father. So I'm not gonna for the sake of my child. And then they will start saying the standard things. For the sake of my child, it's for his own welfare, for her own welfare. I would not allow him to see the father at all.
Mana boleh unless bapak dia tu sexual predator ke apa lain lah. Atau macam kadang-kadang kita tengok dekat berita atau cerita-cerita orang putih ni semua like bila mak tengah high on drugs lah lah, of course tak boleh lah. But any natural normal parents, you cannot happy cakap ni tak boleh jangan jumpa.
Right.
Just because you tak happy dengan certain behaviour.
Unless it's really threatening to the child lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we started the episode saying that some family members interfere or macam support their own macam family member lah, right? Because of their pure intention perhaps, but sometimes they cross the line.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So this is not macam a legal advice or anything, but just probably a reflective question. Like what is one thing you wish families would understand before they interfere in a marriage? Atau they think they're helping but actually they're just making things
I
worse.
think the important thing is finding that balance.
Okay.
Where one party may actually support one side a bit more, be it the spouse atau their own family members. Just find that balance. And I believe that communication is key as well. So kalau ada problems ke apa-apa, I would strongly suggest talk it out. Rather than he said, she said sampai
she said,
besok pun tak game.
Yeah.
Talk to each other like, hey, you notice macam maybe say mother-in-law treating very badly towards me. Speak to her husband lah. See whether the husband can do something about it. But if you think cannot, then maybe might want to try her approach.
Go direct.
Go direct.
Hey, what's your problem?
Tapi ada juga time-time yang some people because when people go to lawyer, right, they all always think that pasal the lawyer will fight. Actually kita lawyers tak suka fight.
Tak suka fight.
Yeah. In fact, there are times where I see Liza macam giving letters instead. Okay, negotiate through letters. Tak payah pergi court dulu. Let's negotiate macam gini, anak kita gitu. Kita negotiate nicely dulu. Number one is better on your pocket. Number two, tak payah nak gaduh-gaduh kat court.
Right.
Yeah, let's try that first. Yeah.
Dia tak ada macam pekik-pekik like
Tak payah, ni bukan
my client.
Tak ada. Ni judge suruh kau keluar nanti.
Tu masalah yang tinggi.
Masalah yang
No,
tinggi.
actually the court now pun is into this thing called therapeutic justice.
Therapeutic justice, okay.
So it's more towards like being nice. Let's negotiate rather than let's making things contentious.
Right.
Why therapeutic justice? Because it's to benefit both parties. You guys got married together on good terms and on good terms. Tak payah semua nak kena fight lah. Let's go and fight this out. No, I will. If I see that there's possibility to find that middle ground, I would suggest to negotiate.
Okay.
Talk nicely lah. We have cases like that. Tak, bukan semua is like macam you guys watch Suits Semua
Suits,
tengah
Bukan.
Betul.
In fact, bukan pasal divorce dengan anak-anak aja. Kadang-kadang pasal harta arwah. Pun I have seen kita tak boleh explain atau cakap apa case, tapi there are cases where Liza will step in and be the therapeutic negotiator. Macam example tak nak aku tak nak kasih IC aku, buat apa, then Liza will come in, put inside letter IC ni untuk dapatkan duit untuk kau. Bukan nak ambil duit kau. Macam example lah, macam explain. Pasal most of the times people are so scared atau very worried when it comes to legal stuff because they don't understand. But all you have to do is when it comes to family law and Sharia matters, since the first consultation is free, tanya je soalannya.
Just ask. Ask
Yes.
a professional.
Yes, jangan
Stand by
tanya.
all the questions.
Because kadang-kadang when you talk to other people, they like to tambah-tambah. Yeah, and law is not like that.
Law in Singapore is very fixed lah kan. in a sense.
Everywhere, okay, I can say everywhere. Sometimes some law kelakar. But yeah, in Singapore is very fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
InsyaAllah.
Yeah.
InsyaAllah.
So actually law tu can help lah. Right? InsyaAllah. You just need to go to the proper channels.
Yeah.
Jangan kenapa ketawa?
Yang takut law tu selalu kriminal lah.
Betul.
Yeah, those who buat silap takut lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Macam there's one cerita just follow law.
Yeah, just follow law.
Just follow the law. You follow the law.
Yeah.
If you don't know the law, you ask someone who know the law. Then you follow. InsyaAllah. InsyaAllah.
Correct.
A lot of law.
A lot of law. InsyaAllah.
InsyaAllah. Semuanya smooth lah for you.
Yeah, but like as we mentioned, this one is this specific episode is talking about toxic in-laws, but we also acknowledge out there there
They're
are good
nice
in-laws.
ones.
There are very nice
InsyaAllah. My
in-laws.
in-laws, Alhamdulillah.
Sama. Berlambat pula tu aku punya.
Big family.
Oh yeah. You got time
Fahmi is number 11.
Whoa.
So imagine semua Baik gila Zah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Best
InsyaAllah.
You got 10 others.
Shout out, yeah.
Shout out, hey. But yeah, this episode is just to really make you understand that if you really in a situation macam gini, macam divorce ke toxic ke, you don't know what to do, there is help.
Yes.
You just need to reach out to FND Legal.
Even if you're being harassed atau being bullied by your ex-in-laws atau your current in-laws, go to a lawyer. Talk to a lawyer. There are processes to protect you, betul.
And it's not just divorce saja
Bukan divorce saja. Yeah.
Yeah. If you need
banyak.
to,
Like personal, anyone has.
yeah, you can.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. See, there are things
Kalau
that
nak cakap, Liza tak balik hari ni.
lagi 2 episod dia
Bos
keluar.
aku tak balik.
I didn't know all these things are possible
Ada
or
possible procedures. Yes.
Because basically, if you are you're feeling threatened, that means it's something against the law already lah. Someone's threatening you is not a good sign. So yeah, we protect ourselves because we want to value our life and our mental
Peace of
sanctity.
mind. Yes.
Our
Peace of mind.
peace.
And your marriage lah also.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
insyaAllah.
Inshallah. Wow. I think like what you said, what you said
Yeah.
just now, I think I totally agree on that. And I mean, as much as possible, kita want a healthy marriage, kita want a healthy family. But if yang mendengar ni, you are in such a situation where you are struggling with emotions and with your current situation and whatnot, just seek help. Of course, you seek help from, if you need a lawyer, you seek help from Liza, FND Legal. And then at the same time also, if you feel like you need help with relationship, and then you go for a relationship counselor. I mean, you can always go for Liza. Liza got a lot of recommendations juga kan.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, so
I do.
insyaAllah.
So hopefully this episode will help those of you in this kind of situations lah. But I think for the rest of us yang ada healthy marriage, insyaAllah, masyaAllah, it's also good to reflect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whenever kita tengok orang or you hear stories about people punya
Kesusahan.
bad experiences kan dengan ex-husband, ex-wife and things like that. I think it's good to take the positive. Macam apa yang kita boleh belajar dari
And also it's a
the
good
story.
reminder lah.
It's a good reminder,
Macam tadi punya story pasal vacuum. Tengok kecilnya benda vacuum pun boleh jadi hal tau.
apa ni?
Vacuum, that time I heard yang tak shampoo rambut.
Oh my god, tak shampookan rambut dia. Oh ya.
Tak shampookan rambut dia.
Yeah, I
tak ada
think
tangan.
no, it's actually an actual case law tau. Kalau tak, if I didn't recall wrongly, it's like available for everybody to read.
It's on the report.
Yeah,
Kau
yeah.
tak silap ya.
I'm gonna read that up.
Interesting.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Singapore legal report.
Yeah, that one I remember
Singapore
kan.
report.
Ada kan?
If I'm not wrong,
Yeah,
something
I
about
vaguely
he
remember about
was angry that I did not like
Shampoo dia
shampoo
punya
ke
rambut.
bathekan dia properly. Kau apa? Husky nak kena bathe kau? What is going on? Yeah. What is going on, guys?
Lain kalau dia tengah vegetable lah.
Yalah, okay lah, that one. Yalah, that one different lah.
Itu dah.
Yeah.
Ajalah,
Just come and reflect lah. It's good. Reflect. Nanti balik aku nak vacuum lah.
Lepas
Just
ni
in
kita
case.
vacuum.
Aku nak vacuum.
MasyaAllah. Alhamdulillah,
Masya Allah,
we have come to the end of the episode.
Yes.
Thank you, Liza, and also Kak Hani
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
sharing your stories and
Sharing your
advice.
experiences and advices, because like we mentioned earlier on, if you really need help, just look for FND Legal.
Yep.
Protect yourself, and it's all under one roof lah, insyaAllah.
Know your rights.
Yeah, know your rights. Know your rights.
And also hopefully through this episode you akan macam, for example, you tak fikir pun yang benda ni toxic, tapi you hear the advice macam Liza cakap, it's more common than you think. And the stories that people submit and things like that, so you are not alone. Yeah, at least you
Don't
can
downplay
cover
on your
the
own mental health lah.
Yes.
If you
Atau gaslight lah.
gaslight.
Some
Don't
people
gaslight yourself lah.
Yeah.
Inshallah. So you can just contact FND Legal at 96531612.
yes, that's consultation free.
You can also follow our social media, TikToks. Kita have a lot of videos, short videos on advices and processes on our TikTok and IG at Family Law SG.
Family Law
Yeah.
SG.
Follow, jangan tak follow.
Ya, betul.
A lot more information over there. Alright.
Okay.
And with that, terima kasih once again Kak Liza. Terbalik.
Kita tak kak sangat. Kita muda, y'all.
InsyaAllah we'll have one more episode with them. Stay tuned for that one. We'll touch on men pula this time around.
We should lah, we should.
Is men on the losing end in a divorce? In a divorce.
We'll touch on that because
Yeah.
we'll see you guys in the next one. We've come to the end of another episode of Outside In.
If you like what you hear, please follow us on all our socials: TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube.
Share it with all of your friends and family members so that they can benefit from this episode. Inshallah. Till next time. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Bye-bye.
Bye.